Hey YouTube, what's up? This is Tazzelson here, and today there is a lot of snow on the ground outside, so I decided to make this tutorial. This is basically how in Sony Vegas we are going to learn how to make a snow effect. Now, looks kind of like this, there is a few variations of it, and it moves, so that's always great. So let's show you how to do this. First off, we notice, it's kind of a darker color than snow here, but we'll get into that later. First, we start off media generator, starry sky is the one you want under noise textures. Plop one in there. You're going to want 2 tracks, but only put 1 starry sky in. Now color B, we want it to be 0, or to the alpha 0 because it's not the right color. And we want usually a pure white for the snow. And let's see here, let's just crop it down. And let's zoom in a bit with the snow layer because snow is not quite that small. Now we'll get into the controlling of it. We'll get into making it move in a second. First off, frequency, you don't really want to change this because then it starts to look like that. Don't really want that. So keep those both at 2. Offset, you don't really want to change these because then it starts to get a little weird too. But if you do, it doesn't make a huge difference. But yeah, let's just keep those both at 0. Progress, this is what's going to make it move. Sorry, we're not going to work with that yet. That is going to be the last thing we do. We do have number of layers. You can mess with that. Changes. Actually, no, we don't really want to change that because you'll notice, there's a lot less to like a lot less complexity. That's pretty much what that is. For this bias, we'll work with that max. This is how many, like how many points there's going to be. So I want to keep this, not too big, depending on how much snow you want. If you want lots of snow, okay, that's ridiculous. But if you want lots of snow, that's still a little ridiculous. Don't really go past like 200, but I don't want a lot of snow in this, so I'll keep it at about 50. And minimum, I could bring this up to like 10. And as you can see, it looks nice and snowy. The grain, you don't really want to change this because that is, again, one of the complexities. There's a lot of complexity controllers on this, I know. Bias, this is sort of how bright it is, like how many of them there is and stuff. So if you want less of them and they want to be smaller, bring the bias up, bring the bias down, and you'll get brighter ones. And there might be a few more, and they'll get a little bigger. Let's keep this at like actually, let's just drop the bias down like 50. Or bring it up, I guess that is. Yeah, that looks like about good. And so now we've got this. Now we want to go to the end of the video shot and bring the progress in degrees up. You don't want to bring it all the way to the end, like a lot of people like to do. Seeing as we're trying to go for a somewhat realistic snow effect, you want to the snow to what do you call it? Move at a realistic speed. So that's going a little fast for how much snow there is. If you got more snow, it'll be going faster. So let's bring this down to like 3. And let's do a quick round preview just to make sure. That does look like a little much. Yeah, that's quite a bit. So yeah, let's bring the bias down in that case. Down. Let's just drop it straight to 0. Minimum, bring that to 0. Maximum, bring that to 40. And let's see what this looks like. Also for these two layers here, or the layer with the snow on it, you want to set that screen. It's by default set to source alpha. Makes a slight difference. Makes it sort of more see-through, so it's nice. That's kind of realistic. Still moving kind of fast, so I'll just drop this down to like 2400. And that's starting to look pretty good. Now, let's go to the layer. Let's copy it, paste it on like one layer lower, new source. And seeing as before it was zoomed in, we want to zoom it out. So now we get sort of, it looks like 2 layers of it. Yeah, that's different. Yeah, now we get like 2 layers of it, and it looks like there's a lot of difference in the size and stuff. So it looks a lot better now. It's moving kind of fast, like really fast. Like, seeing as not really a long clip, I'm gonna really bring these progress and degrees down. You don't want a lot of movement because, well, in this case, I just want like light snow. Starting to look pretty good. Might want to zoom. Oh, sorry, zoom this one in a little bit more. And that's looking pretty good. Now, if you want maybe sort of a depth of field effect, or some larger ones closer to the camera like this, like right here, you could end the effect, but you could also go to median, and just add the round max, and that will, seeing as the alpha is at 0 for the second color, it's just only going to work on this. This is more of a extreme depth of field effect. If you really wanted that, I believe it's defocus, and that's where you would go. As you can see here, defocus is meant to look like a depth of field effect. Come on. So, yeah, let's go back to median. And you'll notice, yeah, these are pretty big, so we don't really want that. So let's bring this down to 0.50, and don't really want quite that much on the vertical compared to the horizontal. Bring them up to about 0.50, and that's looking really nice. Just below, let's change it to like 0.1. You know, if you give it the first one a little bit of size, you might want to give the second one a little size, and that's looking pretty good. Now this also adds a lot more size and brightness to the clip. So, and seeing as I didn't white balance my my camera before I went outside, I shot this a long time ago. Luckily, Sony Vegas has this great tool called white balance. Simple as that, and it can simply adjust the white balance of your camera. So you can select the white color. I don't really know why you'd do anything other than the actual white color. Because yeah, if your clip's already going to be unwhite balanced, so right up here is a nice easy white to check, and just bring the brightness up, because mine's kind of like it's kind of a bluish color, so just increase the brightness and that's looking pretty good. It looks a lot brighter, and the clip is corrected. And from there you can render it out and then add color correction, stuff like that, and it looks pretty stinking good. So that's kind of the end of this tutorial. My name is Taz Olson, signing off. Bye.